izwe lihlukumeza to a point where we no longer know ourselves. One of the reasons why we had to be saved, is so that we may be reminded who we are, is so that we may meet ourselves again, that we may know ourselves again. Si abantu abazinikele empilweni yokona nasempilweni yezwe, abantu abazinikele emoyeni yonke ephephukayo, half the time we think they know, and half the time we think they are aware of the damage that they are causing to themselves. One of the days when I was praying last week, it must have been on Thursday, umoya ngcwele wehlisa kimi umbono kahana ethandaza, and this was in prayer as I was praying. Uthi umoya ngcwele kimi, do you understand what had happened to this woman? Uma sumayela ngohana sikhuluma ngonina kaSamuel owathandaza uNkulunkulu wamuzwa. But what actually happened with this woman is that, first of all, she was barren. Wayengathola abantwana, wayeyinyumba. Okwesibili, umyeni wakhe wasuka wathatha omunye inkosikazi ngoba efuna umntwana. Now there was humiliation. Awanele. Okwesithathu uma efika lo nkosikazi ethola abantwana, there's further humiliation. Okwesine akagcini ngokuthola abantwana nje kuphela, ukumkhombisa ukuthi hayi indoda yakhe ayinankinga, wena unenkinga. The Bible says she tormented her. Wayema, and she would continuously torment uHana njengenyumba. And so she became this useless person. She became this abused person. She became this person who had no confidence. She became a woman without essence. And the essence is you must be productive. And what she started doing, she started drinking. So she didn't just emerge Samuel. She didn't just emerge as this woman odagwayo obona umprofeti. No, she was a beautiful woman. She was a lovely woman. She was an attractive woman whose context did not allow her at the time to fully give expression ebuhleni bakhe nasebukhosikazi bakhe. And when she was met with so many challenges and not having any place la engathola khona uncedo, she turned to the bottle. Waqala waphuza. Umoya ngcwele uthi kimi, when she started drinking, it was to numb her pain. Wayezipholisa, wayeziduduza. She did not intend to become an alcoholic. Wayengenanhloso kuba isidakwa sikamama. Wayezama nje ukuzipholisa. Ngenxa yokuthi intokozo yayingasekho ekhaya, wayezama nokuzithokozisa. Ukuthi ke well, angisenandoda. And there's nowhere I can go, because in that time, as it is namanje, angeke uvele usuke nje kade ushadile ebese uyahamba uthi ke ayi ngoba sekunje ngoba kasanginaki nami ngizophuma ngibhekele kwenzeka namhlanje lokho nakhona sisamangala bekungenzeki. So indoda has moved on, and he is living his life, and his dreams and ambitions in life are being fulfilled, and she is stuck. But in being stuck, no one is reaching out to her and loving her. No one is covering her and saying, Noma engedabantwana kodwa unkosikazi wami uNdlunkulu. She didn't have that comfort. She was married to a man who did not believe in her, who did not believe anything could come out of her. And therefore, we get a sense of she never had this consolation from the family, from the husband, from anybody. She didn't have the protection against the new wife. And therefore, the only thing she could find as police ngayo, as thokozise ngayo, utshwala. But utshwala, it did not take away her pain. It simply allowed her to bury the pain. Yamvumela ukuba abgqibe abngcwabe ubuhlungu bakhe. But it didn't take away ubuhlungu bakhe. Utshwala, it did not take away her lack of confidence. Ukungazethembi kwakhe. It was still there. It did not take away her own need. But her own need to be a full woman, a mother. But it allowed her to survive. The Holy Spirit says to me, uHana was a believing woman. Why he called? She was a believing woman. A believing woman who had no one reach out to her and activate her faith. Instead, the people activated inkolo yakhe, they judged her. They looked at her and they said, "Isitagwa somfazi. Unkosikazi onjani lo ophuza kangaka?" So the very people who were supposed to show her the heart of God, the very people who were supposed to show her how beautiful she is, how treasured she is, the very people who were supposed to lift up a mirror and say, "Do not destroy yourself over this little thing. You are much more than that. You are a beautiful, attractive woman." But we understand why. Ngoba iBhayibheli lithi ngesikhathi sokufika kwezwi kaNkulunkulu lizokhuluma noSamuel esevele uSamuel. Lithi iBhayibheli uEli wayesemdala engasaboni emehlweni. Ilambu lalikhanya endlini yethempeli. Ngalezo insuku izwi likaNkulunkulu lalingasavamile. Amadodana ompristi ayesephila impilo ebhekele. And therefore, there was no spirituality, there was no one to pull together the nation and say, "Hey, asingazikhohlwa singobani." Yabazalwane, when the church grows cold and forgets the purpose, yes, khali sokholwa, there is no hope for the nation. When people out there are seeking God and are needing an answer from God. Yebo, bebezihlehlisiwe noNkulunkulu bemphika uNkulunkulu. But a time will come where they will need an answer from God. They will turn to the church. And when the church has grown cold and is maintaining a tradition, ukhona umpriest sikhona isibani, but izwi alikho. Ukhona umpriest, likhona ithempeli, sikhona isibani siyakhanya, kodwa izwi alikho. Uthi izwi likaNkulunkulu lalingasavamile. It is the same thing uma bengena labantu ethempelini esinakho bezwa uJesu eshumayela kuthiwa bamangala ngoba for the first time bebekhona abapristi, bebekhona ababhali, bebekhona abafundisi, besikhona isibani kodwa izwi belingekho. There was no authority in the temple. There was no authority in the house of God. Ukuthula bandleni lingcwele. Ukuthula kubazalwane. Because when we focus on structures and we focus on programs and we focus on worship and we focus on activities and we think that is church and worship, but when there is no authority of God, when there is no authority of God, the one who is appointed by God, there is nothing for the people. There is nothing for the people. And so to Mangolegi Ohana got to a point where the alcohol could no longer bury her pain. The alcohol could no longer bury her pain. See, when people start doing things ezibalekelayo to cope, and they live in the world in order to cope with the emptiness, with the void, with the vacuum, engaphakathi kwabo, the church looks at them and says, you've made a decision to walk away, and we judge them with so much judgment. But actually they are simply trying to cope. But as life happens, kuhamba kuhambe, the coping mechanism, because the longer a person ignores the pain, the longer a person walks away from their true spiritual beauty, from their true power, from their center, the longer they walk away, the bigger the void ngaphakathi kwabo. And the bold ones and the brave ones will continue to do more and more of the things ezigqiba the gap ngaphakathi kwabo. And they will continue to do more. And the more they do those things, it is the more the believers judge. How ubenza ukuthi ngonyaka odlule? 5 years ago wayenengane nobani? Kulo nyaka manje usenengane nobani? Waqale enengane nosibanibani. Namhlanje unengane nengane. Unengane enganeni, whether it's indoda to awu hayi usedlulele manje. Hey, ukhuleliswe umntwana ona 19. Noma ukhuleliswe umfana ona 19. And we like, how was wangcola umuntu? It is an indication of how deep, how wide, how big this gap and this void is. Omunye uyantshontsha qala entshontsha kancane. Antshontshe what we are exposed to kulezi insuku namhlanje, it is the level of corruption. But the level of corruption is a measure of how big the spiritual wound is. Because when you get to a point where you can take and steal billions, when you can get to a point where you can steal or allow an entire company to be stolen, hayibo sagcina abantu bentshontshe imoto, untshontshe inkampani yonke. Wayiqede inkampani yonke. It is an indication of how deep the void is. And you see, when they steal, whether they steal the company, uyayithatha ebese ezambathisa yona, uyibona inkampani eyigqokile, hey wagqoka umuntu kodwa sekuyamemeza manje, sekumemeza yonke into kusuka ekhanda kuyonyaweni, kumemeza amagama nayo yonke into ufuna ningibone, nento ahamba ngayo iyamemeza yonke into. Ngobani? The deep wound ngaphakathi kwami is so painful that I need something bigger. I need an expensive alcohol in order for me to feel okay. Uma inkulu indaba ojolayo ujola kuze kubonakale. Kade ngikhuluma nomunye hey nginabahlobo abaningi abasenkingeni leli, kusho uNkulunkulu usazongigcina ngishumayela ivangeli. Omunye indoda yakhe ayijoli go, siyakhuluma ke nehlobo ngithi sekunjani manje, usebuyile ekhaya ubani bani? Uthi hawu ke manje akasafihli ke manje, baposta ku Facebook nayo usisi useyaposta, sekuyinto esobala ngoba the void abekade eyifila, whether isemshadweni, whether iku relationship okanye ngaphakathi kwakhe, now it needs You can no longer hide now. It needs you to display ukuthi hayi mina nginje manje. Ngoba ngifuna nazi ngoba angifuni ukuhlala nale pain, nale emptiness. And in all of these situations, the role of the church grows bigger. In all of these situations, the work of faith becomes even more important. In all of these situations, the calling for believers to be effective in launching the weapon ephumele hayi ukubhubhisa izwe kodwa ukusindisa izwe needs to be even more urgent. So in this moment, uHana ingene tempelini. Lithi iBhayibheli, she could no longer handle the pain. She could no longer handle the drunken state ayehleze kuyo. So she comes to church. She has no appointment, no priest, because there is nothing that he can do for her. She simply came to God. Uze kuNkulunkulu. Kutha wakhothama, wathandaza. Uma ithandaza, the pain was so deep and buried ngaphakathi that she could not find the words ukuthi aphume ngomlomo wakhe. Because she had never gotten to a point where she told anyone about the things azizwa ngaphakathi wakhe. And so all she did, she knelt in front of the altar and she started weeping. Kodwa akhozwi ayiphumisela ngomlomo wakhe, but she started weeping. And when the priest saw her ethandaza, uthi kuyena uyodakwa kuze kube yinini, susi wayini emlonyeni wakho. Oh Nkosi, incekazi yakho ayidakiwe njengocabanga kwakho. Namhlanje incekazi yakho ayidakiwe njengocabanga kwakho. But today I could no longer contain this pain. Ngizothulula inhliziyo yami phambi kaNkulunkulu.